Hello and welcome to my new YouTube channel. I've created this channel because a few months ago I decoded the Voynich manuscript. I'm not a researcher, I'm not an academic, I wasn't looking for this book at all or a solution to it. It's something that sort of found me, to be honest. I was taking care of one of my sick dogs. I have an animal rescue in Portugal with my husband. And I was browsing through Twitter, reading some news, and one of those silly videos came up that sort of said the Voynich has finally been decoded, the secret has been revealed. It was something like that. And I thought, I'm going to take a look. Wow, somebody did it. I knew about this book. I'd watched a documentary in the past, but it wasn't really my cup of tea. So I went to this video. It's about 10 or 12 minutes long, and I was thinking, I hope this is going to go somewhere because it's 10 minutes, and it didn't go anywhere. It was a nothing burger of a video. Nothing had been decoded, nothing had been revealed. It was still a secret. So I thought, wonder if AI can do something with this, because I use Grok a lot. Twitter's AI. I use it for work and for creating lessons and stuff for my students. I'm an English teacher now. And so I asked Grok, and I didn't know anything about this book at the time. And Grok was like, no, can't do it. I think, yeah, you can, come on, try, and pushed Grok a little bit. And it started to spew out some data saying that, yeah, it had done it. The book was written in shorthand. I was like, wow, really? So I went to look then really at the data. I understood about what is called the EVA. This is the Latin equivalent, a Latin letter equivalent of the symbols in the book. So the manuscript is pretty big, it's 248 pages. It's about 600 years old. It was discovered by a man called Voynich, and this is why it's named after him. Some say Voynich, some say Voynich. I stick with Voynich, is what I say. And nobody's ever been able to read this book. Many people have tried. There's been loads of theories about it. And next thing, I'm in the middle of all this. Very naive with this book. It's been quite interesting to experience, shall we say, the experts in this field. Experts in something that they don't know what it is. You could be an expert in the paper. You could be an expert in the ink used. You could be an expert in that era. But how can you be an expert on something that you don't know what it is? So I've really had my fair share of experience with experts over the last few weeks. So started playing with the code, the letters basically, downloaded the up-to-date transcription. So 22 letters are used to replace the symbols in the book. Those letters have no connection to the symbol. They've just literally been used to replace the symbols, so it's easier for people to work on this book or to try and understand what it is. So I noticed loads of patterns in it. I started to notice Cal, first of all, K-A-L. It was throughout the manuscript over 466 times. I'm really good at spreadsheets. I used to be a financial troubleshooter for 23 years, so spreadsheets were my thing. And I started to sort of create spreadsheets with every instance of Cal. I really thought it was a language too. It really appears to be a language in some places. And I thought, could be this, could be that, maybe even Welsh. It looked a bit like Welsh, my mother tongue. But nothing really fitted and nothing made sense either. It was really going back and forwards, very frustrating as well. It's like, I know there's something here, but what the hell is it? And I was about to give up because I'd spent, a few days on this back and forth. I'd already decided that I needed to spend my time more wisely, in between working and stuff. And I'd removed all games on my phone, and I'd been studying some Spanish and also sort of trying to do more productive things. And then I sort of stumbled into this book, and I spent a fair bit of time on this. So I thought, okay, one last attempt, and if you don't find anything, you've got to stop, because it can send you a bit crazy, this data. I think it has sent some people a bit crazy as well, to be honest. So I looked at it again. I started to do letter counts. So I started to do Control F, how many times A appeared in the text, or C, or E, or F, or all these different letters, and started to compile spreadsheets. And I noticed something, that some of these letters were repeated more than once. So I went back to basics. I went back to the book, what do I know? What can I see? What's evidenced? Because you can't assume anything with something like this. You start assuming things and you're getting away from the data. And that's all I followed in this book, is the data, nothing else, no assumptions. I have a theory on the author, good theory too, but it's an assumption at the moment. It's another avenue of research I have to go down at a later stage. Anyway, so started to do letter counts and realized it's not possible for this to be a language. So the language theories are out of the window. It's not possible because of the symbols in the book. No language does that. No language has ever done that. The book is about 600 years old, so we're not talking it was written during caveman days. People were speaking a language during this time. And this language, the book doesn't follow a language. So I'll explain more in my next video exactly why that is. But I just wanted to give you a bit of a background into myself and why I've started this channel. And you can go and check my work and my key and my data and my analysis for yourself. It's all on Academia.edu. You have to search for Christine Blackburn. You'll find me there. I've put 3 papers up. The first PDF was the full decode. I put this up at the time just to protect my work. As I said, I've experienced some of the experts, started to feel a little bit anxious. I wanted to make sure that my key was protected, not because I'm chasing fame or anything, but I also know how human beings can be. And I got to protect myself and my family. And, if there's potentially a book in the future out of this, then that would be amazing, because my only want or dream in life is some fencing for my dogs around the farm, and maybe a car with some wing mirrors that works, that can go a little bit further than 5 kilometers. That's it. I'm not interested in anything else. So the first paper was put up to protect my work. Then I continued to look at it, and I realized I had to change from letters to symbols, because the book is in symbols, not in letters. So changing to the symbols opened up another load of information. And it really has been like an onion, this project. Layers have just kept coming out. Every time I sort of find something, it reveals something else. So there's 3 papers online. The first paper to protect my code, the second paper to change from letters to symbols, and the third paper has 6 fully decoded pages from all different sections of the book, and the code works throughout. The key is on there. You're welcome to go and check it yourself. I'm not hiding anything. My work is there for everybody to test. You're welcome to share it, but you're not welcome to claim it as your own. It's my work. So that's why the copyright is on it, for my own protection. Some people have been a bit funny about that, but what else can I do? You can share it, you can talk about it, but you can't claim it as your own. The academic world's pretty much shunned me. They won't even talk about it. I contacted the main experts, the people who say nobody will ever be able to decode it. They've been looking at it for 20 or 30 years. They've never been able to fully understand what it says. So you'd think that they'd be really interested in a new theory, a theory that works throughout the book. It's like a wall of silence from them. I'm not going to mention any names or anything here, but on a certain well-known Voynich website, one of the main users took my copyrighted key from my PDF, changed my symbols to dog shit, reposted it, and laughed about it. And when I complained, they blocked my work. And he's still there, probably picking on other people who enter that site. So after that, I'm not dealing with the academic world at all. And they've really ignored me. So that's okay, because the data will speak for itself. That's all I've used is the data. And if anybody wants to talk about my use of the data and my work, I'm more than happy to do that, because it's so interesting, this book. I've linked it to an author. I've linked it to the time period. I've linked it to a family. I know exactly what the book is about. I can tell you what every section is about, and I will do in the next few videos. So thank you for watching this anyway. And I hope you find what I've had to say a little bit interesting, and that you're interested in my work. I'll put the link to my profile on Academia in the comments section, and if anybody wants to look, you're more than welcome. Okay.